Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juana and I'm the Crafty Puerto Rican. If you are new, welcome. So today we're going to be working with sublimation. I made it a step-by-step process for those who are new and have never seen how sublimation is done. And if you already done sublimation, this is just like a refresher, okay? So yeah, so I can't wait to show you how to do it. And I want to show you the shirt that I did. This is a rhinestone, hotfix rhinestone design, which I did. I converted a SVG file to a rhinestone design. So yeah, I love it, the way it came out. I don't have a video on this in particular, but I have a video that came out, I think it was before this one, that explains you exactly how to create a rhinestone template. So if you're interested on hotfix rhinestone, you can go back and see that video and I will explain you everything about it, okay? And the rhinestones that I used on these videos are from the baby's booty. She has a shop that sell hotfix rhinestones, a nice selection. So I have her link down on the description box if you're interested on getting these hotfix rhinestones, all right? And yeah, so it's not about rhinestones today, it's about sublimation. So guys, let's get started. So these are the printers that I use for sublimation. If you notice, I had them labeled, both of them. This one is a 15,000, and this one prints all the way from 8 by 11. I usually print the one that is 11 by 17. That's the one that I use this printer for. And this one is a regular business printer. It's another Epson 2803, and this is just regular ink. They are all Epson EcoTanks. So these are the design that I just printed from the 2720. I have one more coming up. And I plan to do the 4 tumblers. 2 of them need to be shipped right away today, so I'm going to make those 2 first. And then I will be working on the other 2 that they're no rush for them. They can ship a little bit later. Yeah, so I also I'm going to show you the press that I'm going to be using. This is my Tumbler press. And on this press, you are able to press 20 ounce, 30 ounce, and also you are able to print mugs. So this one is done, and I'm gonna go to the table to start wrapping the tumblers. We'll see you there, okay? See you in a little bit, people. So the things that I'm gonna be needing to complete this, for those who are seeing this for the first time, of course, the printouts. These are the things that I'm gonna be working on. These 2 are rushed. I need to do this first because they need to come out today. It was a last minute order and I need to mail it like ASAP, these 2. And these can wait until tomorrow, so I'm gonna give priority to this. So the first thing you're gonna do is just gonna trim the edges of the design. Thank goodness that this one has a white background, and I don't need to follow any specific line for the trim, which makes it a little bit easier. I suppose like a design like this one right here, that it has color. So I had to be very careful the way I trimmed it around. If you noticed, I really had to be very careful and make sure that I have the right dimensions, because this needs to meet and being have a continuous design, all right? When it comes to this one, because it ends in white, all of these ones, all these 2, I can trim it, but this is white, so I don't have to be so on the spot, you know. I don't know if you want to understand what I'm saying. I hope you do. This one also I have to be very careful, because this needs to be a continuation design. It needs to continue, all right, from here to here. When I do this, it needs to continue with non-stop. So this one I have to trim it very carefully too, all right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna trim these 2, and when I'm done, I'm gonna come back to tell you what the next step is going to be, all right? So the next step that we are going to be doing is cleaning up the tumblers. I use this to clean up, and also I wipe it with alcohol. Believe me, you don't see it, but the dust particle accumulated on these tumblers, especially when they go through storage, and you have to make sure that it's nothing in there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to clean it with a little bit of alcohol. Make sure that if you're gonna do it with alcohol, you use a cloth that had no fuzzy or anything that can stay in the tumbler, because then you're adding more instead of cleaning. All right. Don't use towel, paper, or anything like that, because it's gonna leave a residue in it. You don't want that. Okay. All right. All right. This is clean. That's the next step that you're gonna be doing. Then the next step that we're gonna be doing is the wrapping. All right. We're gonna wrap this, and I use this stand that hold the tumbler in place for when I'm placing the paper on it. Okay. If you hear that background noise, that's the furnace of the heating system in my house. It just made that noise here down in my shop. I'm in the basement. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Okay, you don't need to use this if you don't have one of those. All you just do is standing and just place it this way and try to meet the edges. Okay, and then you can do it with your hands and hold it. This helps me beat just to make sure that it's in place. That's why I use it. Let me see if I'm in shot, because I need to get it closer to me. Yeah, you're in shot. This is the part that is very important when you're doing this. Why? Because you have to make sure that every corner is covering the tumbler, all right? And that is meeting on the top. You don't want to miss any little piece, okay, of the design. So that's why it's important. And when you trim the paper to fit the tumbler, also make sure that when you trim it, like here, I don't mind if it's a space, because this is white and there's no design in here. So I don't mind that. But it's important that if you have a design that is continuous, like this one, that you're gonna meet the design on the other side. So I trimmed it, so it's gonna meet the paper, the sublimation paper is not going to overlap, because if you do overlapping, let's say you do this, two things is gonna happen. The design is gonna get messed up, and you're gonna have ghosting, meaning you're gonna have ink stain on your tumbler. You have to cut it exactly the amount of paper that it will meet without disrupting the next design, because this is a continuous. Okay, very important. Make sure that it's very, very tight on the sides of the tumbler, that I don't have any leftover in here, that all the designs are going to be showing on the bottom, and that all the designs are going to be showing on the top. Okay, very important. The one that is like this one, you don't have to worry about it, because it's white, you see, and you're gonna get it right. And that's why I'm not too concerned about this one when it comes to the trimming, because it is white and it's gonna be no issues. It's not a continuous design like this one and like this one. I had to apply the same thing that I just explained you. I had to apply it to this one, because this needs to continue around. Okay, all right. So once you have it right here, you're gonna secure it in place with a heat resistant tape. It needs to be a heat resistant tape, okay? Because the regular tape is gonna melt on your tumbler press. This one is resistant to heat, all right? So I'm gonna get a piece just to secure it in place, okay? While you're doing that, you're gonna apply pressure towards the center to make sure that it's all close to the tumbler. That's what you're gonna be doing, okay? Once you're done with this, I don't gonna need this anymore. I'm gonna be doing the wrapping around, okay? I'm gonna be pressing down. I have my nails, and I'm gonna be pressing this inner part in. It's very important that you press in to make sure that it's down and there's no gonna be any ghosting. Ghosting is when the ink, which is sublimation ink, it goes to the air, and it moves around and it makes stains on the design. I didn't mention this. The ink that we're gonna be using is sublimation ink, and the paper that I'm using is sublimation paper. All right. The brand that I'm using, that I love to use, is ASAP. That's the one that I use the most. And the one ink that I use is Cosmos ink, because it's a very high quality ink. So that's the ink that I use. And of course the sublimation printer, which I already showed you earlier. Okay, so this is right here. I'm gonna now add some extra tape in very strategic places. In the middle, I'm gonna put it in here. As I do this, I'm gonna make pressure down and stretching it out to make sure that it's gonna be very tight around the tumbler. This prevents from any air getting in between and messing up the design. That's what I'm doing right now, okay? Okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom of the tumbler. Very important. If you notice, I don't have any leftover paper, and I'm not folding it in. When you fold it in, what happens is that the paper is gonna wrinkle, and it's gonna form a wrinkle around the rim, and it's gonna mess up the design. Especially on the ones that are like this one, there is ink all over. If you do that, the paper tends to wrinkle when you put it in, and it's gonna mess up the design. So you have to trim it exactly to the level that you want the design to be. You're gonna place the tape straight into the rim and do the same thing that I did on the middle. You're gonna press it down and make sure that it's very tight in there. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the top. Okay, I'm gonna place the tape close to the rim, and I'm gonna press down. I'm gonna press down, make sure that it's nice and tight around the rim. Okay, so that's it. If you want to put more tape in the middle, that's up to you. You don't have to. I'm gonna just add a little bit here, but the most important thing, this is what I do. If you have like a scraper, something with the edge, and you don't have nails, you can use it to make sure that everything is tight in there. To me, this is the more critical area. It's the seam area. You want to make sure that everything is in there. Okay. So the next step that we're going to use is butcher paper. The butcher paper, you use it to cover the tumbler. Why? Because this butcher paper is going to prevent from the ink to raise up. Again, like I said, sublimation ink is a compound that when you apply heat, it turns into a gas and it comes out. That's what helps for the design to adhere to the tumbler. If you don't put a butcher paper and you put it in your press and you don't have this coverage, the ink is gonna get into your equipment, and you don't want that. Every time that you work with sublimation, you always use butcher paper, okay? Again, I ordered this from Amazon. All these supplies that you see here, I'm gonna link it into my description box so that you can see it, okay? And the next thing you're gonna do is wrap it around. Okay. This one is a little bit short. This one. I cut it too exactly, Tumbler. Usually I for a little longer. This is better. Okay. And you just only have to use one piece of tape. You don't have to use a lot of tape. You just want to make sure that it's not going to move once you start pressing. That's all. And this one is wrapped. I'm going to wrap the other ones. And I'm going to meet you the tumbler press. All right? See you in a little bit. Okay, so I already have my press set. The temperature is 360 when it comes to the tumblers. I'm gonna press it for a total of 120 seconds because I'm going to start turning the tumbler around every 30 seconds to make sure that I have coverage around and I'm pressing all around the tumbler. Okay. I'm gonna be using my heat gloves because the tumblers get hot and I don't want to burn myself. So so every 30 seconds it's gonna stop and I'm gonna do it all over again. So I'm gonna be starting. I use this as to let me know the where to start, and I then do 4 movements around. Okay. Gonna be the first one. Let's go. I'm gonna let it cool down because this is very hot. All right. Let me move you here so you can see it closer. It's still hot. I'm gonna let it cool. It's very hot. While that one's cooled down, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the next one. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. It's the same thing, okay? This one is done. I'm gonna let it cool. Like I did the other one. Ooh, it's very hot, people. Okay. I'm gonna take the tape of this. You have to be very careful if you need to use something with a point because it can scratch the tumbler. I don't like using this, but I'm gonna see if I can do it with my nails because this tape, the only thing about this tape is that it gets very stuck into the tumbler once you use it. It's very difficult to take off. And it came out real nice. Look at this. You see? I love it. I am happy with it. I am very happy with it. So let's do the next one, okay? Let me see if it's cool enough for me to handle it. Okay, so this is the next one. Let me just get you a little bit lower because you're so high you can barely see what I'm doing. There you go. This one's still a little bit warm, but I can handle it. Let me start with this one while this one is going. Let me move you back so you can see both actions. So okay, we're gonna let this one cool. So I'm gonna turn this off and I'm going to unwrap those ones. I have one more to press, which I'm gonna do a little bit later. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you the results of all the tumblers, okay? In the meantime, let's try to get rid of this tape because it's getting annoying. Okay, so let's unwrap this. So yeah, let me move you back this way. And look at the result. It's beautiful, people. Look at this. This is just amazing. Beautiful. And you see this one is like that because the design is like that. Let all that you do be done in love, which is the word that is here, love. And then it tells you the Bible verse, Corinthians 16:14. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so this one is done. So let's do the next one. Hopefully it's cool enough. And I'm trying to hurry because I need to go to the post office. I'm trying to go to the post office before they close. Okay. And this design sometimes gives me issues because it's hard to meet. I have so many of this one on my Etsy shop. This is a very favorite one for people. So I've done it, and sometimes I have issue with the knitting of the line. So let's see. It's a try. You know, it's just it's the way the design is. And another success. Look at that middle line. Seamless. I love it. Okay. This right here is dust from the paper. It comes so I had to wipe it out and clean it, but this is perfect. All right, perfection. Okay, so we're gonna do the last one. I already unwrapped all the other three that you saw them. This is the last one. Okay, so I'm gonna let it cool like the other ones, okay? And I'll see you back when it's ready to be unwrapped, all right? Okay, let's start getting this off. So these tumblers are available on my Etsy shop. If you are interested in getting tumblers, I have a whole selection of tumblers listed on my Etsy shop. And the link for the shop is listed on the description box. This is very hard. Let me see if I can get it done. This is amazing. Look at the colors, people. Oof, it's hard. Let me turn around with one hand because it's, look at how pretty. And it says XOXO. It says, and it's all the way around. So it says, coffee is my Valentine. Coffee is my Valentine. So it goes all the way around. Okay. There's no seams or anything. So that's the wrap. So I'm going to show you all of them at once so that you can see it in a little bit, okay? Well, guys, I am very happy with the results. I am going to run to the post office to ship this right away. And for those beginners that have never done sublimation, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask those questions in the description box below, okay? If you are new to my channel and this is your first time watching this kind of crafting, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, The Crafty Puerto Rican, and you'll see that I offer a lot of different kind of crafting. Also, for those who are subscribed and everyone, don't forget to click that thumb up. That will help my channel a lot. I will really appreciate it. And you are invited to join my private Facebook group with the name of The Crafty Puerto Rican Hub. All you need to do is to answer the joining questions and you are in. And don't forget to click that notification bell that is going to notify you of all my future videos, guys. So I will see you soon. I will see you later. Bye-bye. Hasta luego.